So what I want to do, I want to take this cage completely down. And this cage has been here now going on about 2 years. So it's attached, it's just hardwood, old hardwood, with the same netting that we've used on other cages, and it's attached here and here, and then a piece of twine back there at the back holding it there. So what I want to do is I want to take this down completely, and then we're going to take these planters down right here as well. We're going to move those over to there and there where that fan is sitting right now. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fill that entire square. Well, it's 2 squares really, because there's this post in the middle, but you're going to fill this square and this square completely with this one long cage. And we're going to do that cage out of 1/2 inch hardware cloth, 4 sides, the ends, and then we're going to have one splitter in the middle about where this post is to make it actually 2 cages but built as one. That's where all these birds are going to go, and all those birds. Those are all going to go in this one long cage, which is what we should have done in the beginning, but we weren't really sure we wanted to give up having like a kind of window here into the backyard. But after having this here, it's essentially the same design, just metal instead of plastic, and I think we'll be able to see through it fine. And you can just simply walk down here and see the backyard fine. So anyway, I think it'll be okay. And there's still this opening over here where these plants are as well. So it'll be okay. It's going to be better, and it's going to fill this entire gap. So there won't be a gap at the top anymore, and it'll go slightly below this. It'll go slightly below this piece here. And I think the birds will be happier. It'll be about twice as big as what they're in now. So we'll see what happens. All right, I ordered some hardware cloth, a big roll of it. That's 50 feet, and this space that I'm putting this cage in is 12 feet wide. So everything else is 36 inches square. So it's going to be a pretty big cage when it's completely finished. You ready to go in? Come on. Keep on cruising. All right, let's go in. Come on. finished the first two panels. So they're all hog ringed together, and now I'll do the next panel, and then it'll begin to take shape. And I do think it is going to be a little flimsy. It's going to be heavy too. It's a lot of wire right there. But if it is flimsy, that's what I'm going to use, the pieces of trim. Maybe even hardwood, see what happens, but I may build a frame around that once that's completely. Alright, now I've got both of these panels done and hog ringed on each end, and so now I can put it together like a box. And it'll be 12 foot long, and then it's 36 inches square. The size is 3 feet by 12. the next thing that we have to do is add the wood frame so that it's not so flimsy. So it's upright now that the sides, the end caps are on, but it's still too flimsy, so we're going to put the wood frame on it. It's going to be really simple. I've got these pieces of trim. We're going to put the trim along this top edge right here, and we're going to put it on with staples, and then that's just going to hold it in place. And then once the 4 pieces are in place, then we're going to take the smaller frame pieces and go on the outside of each of these end caps and connect all 4 of those 12-foot sections together. And then that, in theory, is going to be strong enough. We will see, but it's going to be going right over there where the old dove cage is. That's coming down, this one's going up. So this is what it looks like right before we get the wood frame on it. Okay, we got some hardware here from Lowe's. Some safety latches for the doors. Some spring loaded latches for the doors. And these. Okay, I got these plates. I love these things. If you like to mod stuff out and do stuff different, those plates really come in handy. So this is what we're going to do. Dale, you've got those pieces of wood. So let me have one of those to explain my thing here. So these pieces of wood here that we just cut are going to go to tie these ends together, like so. Once these are on here, there will be a piece that ties that down to the bottom one. We just haven't brought those out here yet, and that's where those plates are going to be used. So I'll explain that when we get to it. right, so here's where we're at on this. We've got one side completely done. Now when he goes back inside, he'll staple the inside part to the new wood frame that we have there. We haven't done that part yet, but here's what the back end looks like. So we use these plates, and that's what the frame looks like. And the frame now, of course, we did on the outside, and all of the inside, all of the actual caging is hog ring together as well. So there shouldn't be any little nooks and crannies for predators to get through or any of the smaller birds to get out. So that's what we were trying to go for. Here, just finishing up phase 1 of this cage. The cage is completely built now. The part that we're going to do on the ground anyway. Everything else that we're going to do to it is going to be after it's raised up in its position. So this is the last of it on the ground. The next time we do anything to it, which is tomorrow morning, we will be lifting it straight up off the ground up to that spot right up there.